This page is the vibrant cover of Saturn Fan Magazine from early 1998, prominently featuring anime characters from Sentimental Graffiti, which is highlighted as the main feature with an advanced strategy guide. The cover also teases urgent scoops on major titles like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel, Super Robot Wars, Final Chapter, and Darkstalkers 3. Further strategy guides are offered for RPG powerhouses Grandia and Shining Force 2, I Scenario 1, alongside J.League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru 2. The magazine also includes follow-up reports on anticipated games, such as Eve the Lost One, Waku Waku Puyo Puyo Dungeon, Chaos Seed, and The Unique Baroque. This page is a captivating promotional image for the game D2. Developed by Warp Inc., the left side features a striking close-up of the game's protagonist, Laura Lewis, with her eyes closed, rendered with a distinctive artistic style. The right side prominently displays the bold red D2 logo, with the accompanying text, runs under. Below this, the page provides the contact information for the developer, Warp Inc., including their address in Tokyo, Japan, and their website, www.warpjp.com. 4 small icons arranged vertically spell out Warp. The overall impression is a stylish and mysterious advertisement for the game. This page showcases the dungeon crawler wizardry, Nemesis. The layout features the game's title prominently on the left, followed by descriptive text. The main visual is a large collage of in-game screenshots forming a grid in the background, overlaid by a dynamic first-person perspective scene depicting a character wielding a sword against a monstrous creature. The text highlights key features like the game's advanced graphics, described as pushing the boundaries of interactive realism with highly detailed environments. It mentions stress-free full-motion video sequences that enhance the unique wizardry world. The real-time battle system emphasizes concentration and strategy against fierce monsters, where mastery of magic is key. Finally, it notes the adventure is undertaken solo, challenging players to face dangers alone without a party. The page also includes release information, showing a date of January 22, 1998, and a price of 6,800 yen, along with publisher and developer logos. This page features a prominent advertisement on the left for the game Kishiwada Dead Heat Love, a unique blend of racing simulation and dating sim. It showcases colorful anime characters, including character profiles, alongside dynamic screenshots of both driving and interaction sequences. The ad highlights the game's focus on racing and relationship building with various girls, noting a release date of February 26. The right side presents the magazine's contents page. It outlines comprehensive strategy guides for major titles like Sentimental Graffiti, Grandia, and Shining Force 2 I Scenario 1. Special reports cover anticipated games such as Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel, Vampire Savior, Super Robot Wars F Final, and Roommate 3. The Sega Dynamic Preview section teases upcoming releases, including Panzer Dragoon Saga. Further sections detail ongoing game reports, introduce new releases, highlight popular serialized features, and include fan-focused content like CD jacket designs and reader contributions, giving a clear overview of the issue's diverse content. This page delves into the gameplay mechanics of Sentimental Graffiti, presenting a comprehensive playing manual just before its release. It emphasizes the importance of meeting all 12 heroines early, specifically during spring break, setting the stage for building relationships. The guide introduces action points, which are crucial for traveling and taking actions, and explains how to increase them. The core of the game's romantic progression hinges on 2 key parameters: bittersweetness and intimacy, visually represented by animated hearts on a map of Japan. Higher intimacy increases heart size, while bittersweetness affects heart color and movement. The manual also details the game's command system, highlighting the use of phone calls to schedule dates, and stressing the absolute necessity of avoiding double booking. Punctuality is key, and the guide advises following up immediately if you're late or a heroine misses your call. A flowchart illustrates the main game loop involving returning home, traveling, deciding destinations, and scheduling dates or reconnections. The page is visually supported by character illustrations of Emi Sugihara and Honoka Sawatari, along with various in-game screenshots showcasing the map, calendar, scheduling interface, and character interactions. This page continues the strategy guide for Sentimental Graffiti, focusing on resource management and relationship building. It highlights using night and late-night buses for travel to maximize limited time and money, which are crucial for managing action points. AP. Prioritizing saving money is advised, suggesting cheaper transport like buses and trains to afford dates or earn income through part-time jobs. Recovering AP is essential, primarily done through lodging, with different types offering varying recovery rates. City movement allows for searching for heroines or finding opportune date locations after initial dates. The guide introduces key commands, like the bittersweet map, Senchizu map, to check character stats, and the schedule to manage appointments. Dating is a central mechanic, with bittersweetness and intimacy changing based on interactions. Short dates are for building basic intimacy. Long dates involve conversations and choices to increase intimacy. And event dates are significant story moments tied to seasons or locations, often triggered visually. Recollection events are crucial for understanding heroines' pasts and unlocking paths to the happy ending. The page features screenshots of travel routes, lodging options, city maps, the command menu, and character dialogues during dates and events. Brief summary. This page details Sentimental Graffiti's mechanics, including efficient travel, AP recovery, city exploration, command menu, and the different types of dates key to building relationships and progressing the story. This page introduces 3 heroines from Sentimental Graffiti: Honoka Sawatari from Sapporo, Taeko Adachi from Aomori, and Kaoru Nagakura from Sendai. Each character profile includes basic information like birth date, measurements, blood type, likes, dislikes, hobbies, and special skills. Honoka is highlighted for her special compatibility and requiring a direct approach in interactions, despite being shy with the opposite sex. Taeko is featured as a childhood friend, whose past connection is key to the relationship, emphasizing how navigating the dynamics with her is crucial for strategy. Kaoru, described as a destined darling, is presented as being inherently cute, and dealing with her gently is advised for good fortune in the game. The page also showcases seasonal events for each character, such as Honoka visiting a historical building in spring and going to the pool in summer, Taeko at a summer festival and a significant conversation in autumn, and Kaoru at a summer festival and on a boat trip in autumn. These events illustrate the visual novel style and dialogue choices fundamental to building relationships discussed on the previous page. This page continues the exploration of Sentimental Graffiti heroines, moving beyond the first 3 introduced previously. Here we meet Miyuki Hosaka in Kanazawa, Asuka Hoshino in Yokohama, and Rurika Yamamoto in Nagoya. Each profile provides essential details like birth date, measurements, and hobbies. But the real insight comes from the strategy guides and event highlights. For Miyuki, the advice centers on easing her anxiety, particularly around exams, and the importance of consistent communication, despite her reserved nature. Screenshots showcase early date events, including a scenic stroll and a summer trip to the beach, suggesting gentle progression is key. Asuka's section advises overcoming an initially distant impression by focusing on shared interests and maintaining a cheerful demeanor to build intimacy. The accompanying images capture a spring karaoke date and exploring the vibrant streets of Yokohama in summer, highlighting different date locations. Finally, Rurika's profile emphasizes a more direct approach to establish a unique bond. Leveraging her interest in thrilling activities is recommended. Her event screenshots show a dynamic summer windsurfing date and a fun outing at an arcade in spring, suggesting an adventurous path to winning her over. These profiles and event glimpses demonstrate the diverse personalities and dating scenarios awaiting players in Sentimental Graffiti. This page continues with more heroines from Sentimental Graffiti. First up is Wakana Hoshizaki in Kyoto. Her strategy emphasizes a delicate balance. While appearing reserved, she can quickly open up, so the key is gentle, consistent interaction. Don't push too hard, but always be ready to lead her when the moment is right. Events shown include a calming summer scene by the water and navigating a crowded spring festival, highlighting her reliance on the protagonist. Next we have Natsue Mori from Osaka. Her section describes a cheerful, energetic girl who loves sports and keeps things light. The advice here is to match her energy, as she responds well to a straightforward, friendly approach. Despite her outward confidence, she has a sensitive side, so supportive words are crucial. Screenshots show her playing tennis in spring and a dynamic beach volleyball scene in summer, reflecting her active nature. Finally, Manami Sugihara in Takamatsu is profiled. She's portrayed as initially quiet and weak, but the strategy is to help her build confidence. Showing support and teaching her to rely on herself is paramount. The text stresses that focusing on her emotional strength is key. Events depicted include a spring mountain hike, where she's encouraged, and a summer scene reading by the sea, showcasing moments of quiet support and growth. These profiles reveal more varied personalities and strategic approaches needed to succeed in sentimental graffiti. This page continues the guide to the heroines of sentimental graffiti. First up is Nanas Yu from Hiroshima. Her profile emphasizes understanding her unique sensitivity. Though appearing mysterious, she engages well with the protagonist, but has a hint of loneliness. The strategy involves recognizing when she relies on the player. Events pictured include a spring scene by a waterfall and a summer beach scene where she seems concerned about being a bother. Next we cover Matsuoka Chi in Fukuoka, a rocker girl with a cool exterior. The guide stresses approaching her with sincerity despite her initial lack of romantic interest. She's described as having a surprisingly cute and passionate side beneath her strong will. Featured events include a dialogue snippet and 2 summer scenes, one at a festival and another showcasing her notable swimsuit style. Finally, we look at Endo Akira in Nagasaki. Her long distance from Tokyo makes frequent visits challenging, so clearing key events is crucial for raising intimacy, which is described as increasing rapidly. She's presented as cool but secretly passionate. Screenshots show a dialogue moment and 2 summer events, enjoying tea in Glover Garden and embarking on a cruise from her family's yacht. These profiles highlight the distinct personalities and varied approaches needed to connect with each girl. This page presents strategic advice for navigating the transportation network within sentimental graffiti, crucial for efficiently reaching the various heroines scattered across Japan, a direct follow-up to the character profiles discussed previously. The guide emphasizes optimizing travel time and action points, detailing how different modes like hitchhiking offer cost savings but unpredictable timing, while overnight travel by bus or train allows heroines to sleep while the player travels. It also highlights how the most effective transport varies by region and distance, such as prioritizing flights for long trips despite the cost. The page strongly advises against using ferries due to their excessive travel time, deeming them inefficient for the game's progression. Additionally, the right side of the page previews the contents of Second Window, a highly sought-after limited first edition bonus for sentimental graffiti. This special package includes a digital collection of character illustrations by the original designer, featuring both new and previously unreleased artwork. It also contains messages from the game's 12 voice actors and video content, notably footage from a summer concert held in 1997 and audition clips, offering fans exclusive behind-the-scenes glimpses and interactions with the cast. This bonus content was a significant draw for fans looking to deepen their connection with the game and its characters. This page provides a comprehensive strategy guide for the critically acclaimed sound novel Machi, focusing on navigating its intricate multi-protagonist structure. It kicks off with a general overview of the game's system, emphasizing the 8 concurrent scenarios set in Shibuya and the unique zapping mechanism that allows players to switch between characters at specific points. This system is crucial for progressing through the interwoven storylines. The guide also details the importance of the bookmark item, which functions as a form of time travel, allowing players to revisit earlier points in a character's timeline to make different choices and avoid bad ends. A new system is introduced to highlight important scenes, making it easier for players to identify critical plot points and zapping opportunities. Furthermore, the page reveals exciting news about a potential sequel, Machi 2, tentative, and announces recruitment for writers and actors, signaling future developments for the series. It also highlights a special bonus item, a gold bookmark, available as part of an early purchase campaign, a coveted collectible for fans. The next page delves into character-specific strategy guides for Machi, breaking down the paths for 2 of the protagonists. It starts with Keima Amamiya, the otaku detective, outlining his key points, searching the scramble crossing for specific characters, discovering an explosion at Makadekoko, and helping a group called the Machis in Center Gay. The guide highlights crucial zapping opportunities to progress his story and avoid potential bad outcomes. Next is the guide for Yoshiko Hosoi, focusing on her desire to lose weight. Her journey features points such as a potentially happy date, surprising multiple encounters while running errands, getting stuck in a warehouse, and aiming for an idol debut at the Okayama building. The guide details the choices needed at these points, emphasizing that certain paths can lead to unfortunate ends. Finally, A small section notes that the game's opening movie song, Song of Dawn, by Rina Suzuki, can be heard in-game at Tower Records at 11 o'clock, a neat detail for players to discover. This page offers essential direction for navigating these interwoven character narratives. This page continues the deep dive into Machi's character strategies, focusing on the paths of Tadashi Amamiya and Yohei Tsubaki. For Tadashi, the guide details key points starting from a confrontation on a department store rooftop on Sunday, where choices affect the scenario. His path involves a challenging phone call demanding 3 million yen, requiring players to decide whether to consult his father or not. A crucial zap point occurs at Ushinokawa's location, necessary to advance. Later, Tadashi encounters Beauty in an elevator, and faces a decisive moment outside the school gate, where he might meet Aoi. The guide points out that poor choices frequently lead to Tadashi facing bad ends, including a shocking encounter with a mysterious man. Yohei Tsubaki's strategy covers fewer points, but highlights equally difficult choices. His journey begins by potentially inviting Beauty to a cafe near the Hachiko statue, which could lead to a harsh experience. He then faces a perplexing situation at a barbershop, encountering a mysterious person. His final listed point is encountering a mysterious man at the school gate. Yohei's narrative often sees him stressed or driven into corners, with several opportunities to reach a bad end. The page emphasizes the importance of using the zapping mechanic to switch between characters at specific points to unlock new events and progress through the intertwined storylines, especially noting the crucial zap from Ushinokawa's segment in Tadashi's path. This page continues the strategic walkthrough for the game Machi, focusing on 4 more character paths: Ushio Masami, Ichikawa Fumio, Mabuchi Kintaro, and Takamine Ryuji. The guide provides flowcharts detailing key decision points, times, and locations, highlighting how choices lead to different outcomes, including numerous bad ends. Ushio's path is noted as having few choices but requires specific actions, like interacting with Ichikawa and giving something to Ayame, with incorrect choices leading to bad ends. Ichikawa's scenario features a critical zap point at 10:20, essential for progressing to other character paths like Tadashi or Mabuchi, and his path includes a mysterious phone call leading to a bad end. Mabuchi's route is described as simple but prone to being interrupted or ending in bad ends, particularly involving events at Matsubara Park, where eating sweets results in his death. Takamine's strategy is presented as a potential endpoint for other characters, and often leads to bad ends, involving navigating Shibuya and potentially getting caught in a street riot. The page reinforces the importance of the zapping mechanic to switch between characters at specific times to unlock new events and advance the complex narrative. This page dives into super secret data for the RPG Grandia, following up for players who have already cleared the game. It features a large, detailed illustration of the game's world map and includes screenshots showing characters and battles. The focus here is on magic data, emphasizing the critical need to frequently use magic to level up spells, learn new ones, and increase their power. The guide explains that each spell gains express when used, which raises its level and can eventually unlock more powerful spells. It breaks down effective ways to level magic, noting attack magic gains express from defeating enemies, while recovery magic must be used when HP is low, although it can also be leveled easily at save points using the recover option. The guide prioritizes which magic types to learn first. Recovery magic is essential for restoring HP and saving items. Healing magic, like Cure, is crucial for status ailments. Elemental attack magic is great for clearing multiple enemies, and support magic is less vital outside boss fights. A table is included summarizing magic spells available to the main party members, detailing their effects, MP costs, required express, elemental attributes, and which characters can learn them, providing a quick reference for building your magic arsenal. This page delves into the skill data for Grandia, focusing on the powerful weapon-based skills that are crucial for success, especially in boss battles. Unlike magic, skills are learned by increasing your proficiency with different weapon types like swords, maces, or bows. The more you use a weapon, the higher its level becomes, unlocking potent new abilities. The guide outlines the unique skill sets of the main party members. Justin excels with sword and mace skills like Verslash and Heaven and Earth God Slasher, making him a powerhouse in close combat, particularly against bosses. Freyna is versatile with knife and whip skills, blending physical attacks with some elemental flair. Sue focuses on support and ranged attacks with her bow, and unique abilities like Pui Meatball Kick and Cheer, useful for buffing the party and controlling enemy actions. Later party members like Gadwin and Milda bring powerful signature moves but don't learn many new skills. Rap specializes in ranged attacks, a distinct advantage in battles. Guido serves as a vital support character, with skills like Mog Bomb and SP Boost, essential for disrupting enemies and aiding allies. The page highlights key skills for each character, and even offers tactical advice, such as which skills are best to master before facing challenging bosses like Balal. It emphasizes that understanding each character's strengths and leveling their specific weapon skills is key to overcoming Grandia's toughest challenges. This page dives into the hidden treasures scattered throughout the world of Grandia, guiding you through dangerous dungeons to snag crucial items you might otherwise miss. It highlights areas starting from Disc 2, revealing important items obtainable early on. The guide takes you through locations like the Forest of Silence, warning about camouflaged monsters, and the Tower of Doom, where defeating specific enemies is key to progression and item collection. It covers diverse environments, such as the vast savanna wilderness, emphasizing permanent stat-boosting items, and the Brinnan Island, noting specific enemies and how to tackle them for rewards. Further expeditions include the Gile Desert, detailing its unique layout and challenges, the mysterious Castle of Dreams with its tricky paths, and the ancient Gile ruins where moving floors add to the puzzle. Finally, it touches upon the bizarre dimensional rift. While lists of specific items are present for each location, the main focus is on navigating these areas effectively to ensure you find those powerful pickups that can make a big difference in your journey. The page concludes with a dramatic story reveal about Fina's capture by General Bawal, Justin's rescue attempt, and the shocking truth connecting Fina and Lean as light children, hinting at their destiny and raising questions about Mullen's involvement with Bawal. It emphasizes the importance of not just mastering skills, as seen on the previous page, but also acquiring the right gear and items to succeed. This page shifts focus from finding items to understanding and utilizing them effectively in Grandia, especially in challenging late-game areas and boss battles. It guides players through tough dungeons like the airship, detailing the difficult boss encounters with Baal's daughters and Baal himself, emphasizing the need for preparation. It also briefly touches upon Rainbow Mountain and Alent, noting the bosses in Alent and the significant story event of meeting Lean. A major focus is placed on mastering item characteristics. The guide breaks down the importance of knowing weapon attributes against different enemy types, recognizing items with special beneficial abilities like boosting skill experience, being aware of items that come with negative effects, such as reduced movement speed, and understanding gear that impacts MP and SP recovery or consumption, which is vital for using powerful magic and skills. The page stresses the value of keeping your item inventory organized and carrying only what's essential. Finally, it highlights a selection of highly recommended items, available in various locations, that can significantly improve performance in battle, from boosting stats to aiding recovery. This page focuses on the optional special stages available in Grandia, offering details to help players conquer these challenging areas which yield valuable items. It specifically covers two locations, the Dream Castle and the Warrior's Grave. Both are located near the Jural Desert, providing unique trials and treasures, not strictly necessary for the main story, but highly beneficial. The page provides maps for multiple levels of these dungeons, highlighting key locations for items, marked with G for gold, and save points, marked with a red flag. It also lists many of the items available in different sections of the Dream Castle and Warrior's Grave, ranging from equipment like the Bloodied Knife and Dark Armor, to accessories like the Soul of a Warrior, an Energy Charm, and even Mana Eggs. A crucial gameplay tip is given about navigating dungeons, emphasizing that many contain hidden paths that only appear when interacting with walls, urging players to search thoroughly. Finally, the page details the boss encounter with the Iron Fist, likely located in the Warrior's Grave. This boss is described as very strong, requiring players to manage their MP and SP carefully, and focus attacks solely on the boss, recommending a party level around 30 or higher for a successful fight. A small panel teases the location of a third special stage. This page continues the strategy guide for Shining Force 2i, specifically focusing on Scenario 1, God's Giants. It's the third part of the guide, covering hidden sub-events and tactical battle approaches. The guide delves into the synchronicity system, explaining how optional events offer unique experiences that aren't essential to the main story, but can sometimes lead to acquiring special items. There's also a detailed look at the class change system, highlighting the benefits like stat boosts and access to better equipment and spells once characters reach level 10. Examples of class upgrades are shown, such as a swordsman becoming a hero, or a knight upgrading to a paladin. 2 specific battles are detailed. Battle 13, the Imperial Ambush, is recommended as a good spot for leveling up, providing strategy tips like luring out enemies and defeating General France. Battle 14, the Ruined Statue, involves fighting Pasanda's spirit troops, with the guide suggesting focusing on the Master Mage and advancing your force. It mentions that characters Pony and Justice will join your party after this battle. The page also lists items available in the area around Battle 14 and hidden in objects like barrels. This Shining Force 2i strategy guide details battles 15 and 16 of Scenario 1, Gods, Giants. Battle 15, at the Border Suspension Bridge, features Julian and Galm and involves tactical advice against Wing Knights, Justice, and Hayward. The Republican Army's arrival and Hexual's betrayal, with the choice impacting Liam's fate, are key story points. Specific tactics for defeating Garzels are also provided. Battle 16, in the Aspia West Plains, focuses on suppressing a Republic civil war. The guide offers preparation tips for Estepia, including item availability and weapon choices, and strategies for challenging enemies like Hellhounds and Hydras. It also addresses enemy reinforcements and defeating the invader captain. This page continues the strategy guide for Shining Force 2, Scenario 1, God's Giants, covering Battle 17, against the Bearshul Army again, and Battle 18, Battle of the Volcano Cave and the Dragon. Battle 17 sees the force retreating to Strick Village, where you can stock up on weapons and items before heading to the desert ruins. The guide details the layout of the ruins battle, suggesting splitting your force and luring enemies out due to the movement-hindering desert terrain. It also points out a specific strategy for dealing with a thief unit in a mid-battle reinforcement wave, noting that it drops items and can steal, and suggests luring low-attack characters to defeat it without killing it immediately. You can acquire valuable items like mithril shards and silver here. Battle 18 takes place in the Volcano Cave. The objective is flexible. You can either defeat all enemies or simply pass through. A new character, Manubal, joins the team. This battle introduces tough new enemies like wyverns, using fire attacks, and bloodbones, with paralysis. The strategy highlights using the cave's narrow terrain to your advantage and luring enemies. There's also a specific point about using Elder to obtain an item, Mithril Knife, from a chest, which triggers a wyvern appearance. Finally, it covers the fight against the powerful Papy Dragon, a flying boss with high HP and X damage, advising the use of characters with resistance and defense, and tactical luring. This page announces the highly anticipated port of Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel, to the Sega Saturn. It's big news for fans, featuring striking character artwork of Mana Kirishima and multiple screenshots from the game or the anime. The images show dramatic scenes like the city under attack and familiar characters like Shinji, Asuka, and Rei, giving a glimpse into the adventure game's atmosphere. The article highlights that this is the first official report on the port, delving into the game's appeal and providing a small table with basic information, like the expected March release, the genre, adventure, and that development is already 70% complete. This confirms that fans on the Saturn will finally get to experience this popular Evangelion story. This page unveils more details about the upcoming Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel adventure game, set to open another world in AD 2015. It introduces Mana Kirishima, a brand new, original character for the game who plays a central role in the story, set around the timeline of TV anime episodes 8 through 13. A major highlight is that all the familiar characters from the TV series up to episode 13 make a full appearance, featuring the original voice actors with entirely new dialogue recorded specifically for the game. The page provides character profiles for Mana Kirishima, describing her basic information and personality as active and straightforward, while also revealing a hidden sensitive side when it comes to love. Profiles for the main trio, Shinji Ikari, Rei Ayanami, and Asuka Langley Soryu, are also included, reminding players of their established personalities as the introspective protagonist, the enigmatic EVA Unit 00 pilot, and the proud genius EVA Unit 02 pilot, respectively. Screenshots and illustrations showcase Mana interacting with Shinji and images of Rei, Asuka, and supporting characters, giving a visual preview of the game's narrative and character interactions. This page continues the look at the upcoming Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel game on the Sega Saturn. It highlights how the game focuses on enjoying the dramatic story through simple operations, emphasizing that difficult controls are completely unnecessary. The gameplay involves selecting commands like look, talk, and move to progress the narrative, with detailed graphics and full voice acting throughout. The text praises the game's visual presentation and the natural flow of dialogue thanks to the voice acting. Also featured is a major announcement. Darkstalkers 3, Vampire Savior, The Lord of Vampire, is coming to the Sega Saturn. This highly popular arcade fighting game is being completely ported using the 4 MB RAM expansion cartridge, promising a faithful conversion. Excitingly, the article teases the inclusion of original elements specific to this Saturn release. The page showcases the game's logo and several screenshots of fierce battles, confirming the impressive visual fidelity of the port. This page continues the deep dive into Darkstalkers 3 coming to the Sega Saturn, focusing on the significant gameplay changes from previous Darkstalkers titles and introducing the lineup of fighters. The round system is out, replaced by a continuous fight where knockdown counts and battles span 2 rounds. New systems like the Dark Force and impact damage meters are detailed, allowing for character-specific power-ups and mechanics. The page highlights 4 exciting new characters debuting in Darkstalkers 3. The Devil Jada, the Succubus clone Lilith, the Insectoid QB, and the seemingly innocent human baby Bonnie Hood. Each is shown with a character portrait and screenshots, briefly outlining their unique traits and Dark Force abilities. Adding to the roster are fan-favorite characters returning from previous games who were absent in Darkstalkers 2, specifically Donovan, Huitzil, known as Phobos in Japan, and Pyron. The Saturn version will bring these 3 back into the fold, increasing the total character count to 18 and promising a huge number of match combinations. The page includes portraits and screenshots for these returning fighters as well, noting any updates to their moves or appearance. It's clear this Saturn port is shaping up to be the definitive version, packed with content and exciting new additions. This page features a special report on Super Robot Wars Final Chapter, showcasing the game with a dynamic illustration of various mecha and characters in the super deformed style. The headline declares that the unprecedented, greatest and final battle begins now. This highly anticipated simulation, RPG, is revealed to be around 75% complete. The article emphasizes the sheer scale of this concluding chapter, depicting the final operation that wraps up the Super Robot Wars F saga. It was apparently so massive in scope that it had to be split into 2 games. Accompanying the text are multiple screenshots illustrating the game's strategic combat. Players can see the tactical map, unit stats like HP and N, and action sequences, with character portraits delivering dialogue, featuring mecha and pilots from various classic anime like Great Mazinger, Mobile Suit Gundam 0083, and Mobile Suit Gundam F91. The visuals highlight intense battles with energy blasts and lightning effects, promising a dramatic conclusion to the series installment. The overall tone suggests high anticipation for this definitive entry in the Super Robot Wars series. The next page delves deeper into the features of Super Robot Wars Final Chapter. It highlights the expanded unit upgrade system, now allowing units to be strengthened up to 10 steps, a significant increase from the 5 steps in the previous part. The page also showcases updated graphics, including a powerful scene featuring the berserk state of Evangelion Unit 01. Specific mecha series are featured prominently. Great Gorg from Daytarn 3 is shown in action, with dynamic screenshots of its transformation and pilot Banjo Haran. The intense Master and Disciple battle from Mobile Fighter G Gundam, featuring Doman Kashu and Master Asia, is also previewed. Furthermore, Space Runaway Ideon is given significant coverage, detailing its inclusion and the unique Ideon gauge system. This gauge is tied to the immense power of the Ideon, particularly its devastating attacks like the Ideon sword, and influences its overall combat effectiveness. Screenshots display dialogue scenes with characters like Cosmo Yuki and dramatic space battles involving the powerful giant robot. This page features an extensive interview with producer Toshihisa Terasada about the development of Super Robot Wars F Final Chapter. He discusses the game's status, mentioning the program is largely complete, but the scenario and balance adjustments, especially for the later stages post-episode 40, are the main challenges. Terasada highlights the importance of scenario branch points and hidden elements to add replayability and cater to user feedback. The page also prominently features the return of the SRX team, with a dedicated section announcing their revival in the final chapter, a highly anticipated reveal for fans. Finally, a memorial file section profiles Daytarn 3, describing Banjo Haran as a cool and handsome pilot, and the unit as a classic super robot that fits well into the Super Robot Wars universe, including a screenshot of the unit in action. This page dives into the latest installment of the popular Live-In simulation series, with a special report on Roommate 3, focusing on the Ryoko Inoue chapter. This entry is presented as the final chapter of Ryoko's story, centering on the crucial period between February 13th and March 11th, as she prepares for her university entrance exams. The game ties into the Saturn's internal clock for a realistic simulation of living together.
Exciting new systems are introduced, expanding beyond just dating.
Players can now go out to various places, like convenience stores and parks, using a map interface, and interact with Ryoko through commands like watering plants, part of a new minigame, or talking. You can also send and receive messages and experience events like hearing Ryoko's sleep talk, adding deeper layers to the relationship simulation. The page also provides a profile for Ryoko Inoue, detailing her birth date, physical stats, hobbies, and personality. Adding a fascinating real-world element, the page announces a Ryoko Inoue first concert event and a related phone service where players could call to hear Ryoko's voice, creating a unique connection between the game and its fans. The game is slated for release this spring, with development reported at 40% completion as of early January. This page unveils a deep dive into the upcoming game, King's Game, a title centered around winning battle games against 8 featured idols to earn penalty games. The premise is straightforward. Win a minigame, and you get to enjoy a unique penalty game with one of the girls. The page highlights the 3 distinct battle games players will engage in: Piko Piko Pon, Zuru Zuru Dokkan, and Achi Muite Hoi, each offering a different challenge. Adding to the excitement, the report takes us behind the scenes with a feature titled Into the Forbidden Garden, detailing a filming session at a pool location. Multiple images showcase the featured idols in various poses and swimwear, giving a glimpse into the game's visual content. Another section captures the girls enjoying a bubble bath, further emphasizing the game's focus on its cast. The page also introduces the 8 idols appearing in the game, noting they are currently popular figures. A brief section mentions the game's release details and platform, but the core focus is clearly on the game's concept and its attractive cast.
This page provides an in-depth look at the highly anticipated Panzer Dragoon Saga, described here as Panzer Dragoon RPG. It's a follow-up report highlighting the imminent release and focusing on the harsh journey the protagonist, Edge, embarks upon. The visuals include striking artwork of Edge and his Kulia dragon companion, alongside action-packed screenshots showcasing exploration, combat, and narrative moments. The report recaps the story so far, detailing Edge's encounter with the mysterious girl Agozi and his quest for revenge after his village is destroyed. It then delves into new developments, showing Edge searching for crucial ship parts within the ruins. This search leads him to the city of Akaranzo and into conflict, ultimately resulting in him acquiring a part that seemingly angers the character pest. The page then introduces Gash, Edge's comrade, and a seeker known for plumbing ancient ruins. Screenshots illustrate Gash's appearance and a dramatic scene where Edge is captured. The narrative moves towards Edge exploring the enigmatic Shellkoof structure, hinting at the dangers and discoveries within. The overall tone conveys excitement and provides tantalizing glimpses into the complex world and narrative of this sprawling RPG adventure as its release nears. This page continues the deep dive into Panzer Dragoon Saga, introducing the formidable battleship Valmena and the mysterious Guardian Dragon, which is noted as being the same as the final boss from Panzer Dragoon Zwei. The report touches upon the concept of a dragon that fell 50 years prior, hinting at connections to Zwei's lore. It details the awakening of the Guardian Dragon and the ensuing battle, showcasing its ability to change forms and unleash powerful attacks like the Berserk laser. Intriguingly, the piece questions how many times the dragon can revive, linking its actions to a mission mentioned by Gash. The page then shifts focus to a different genre, with a dynamic preview of Let's make a pro baseball team, a simulation game where players manage a baseball club. It highlights how the owner's strategic decisions and instructions directly influence player popularity and team income. The preview outlines various in-game events that impact management, ranging from celebratory anniversaries and positive trends boosting spectators and income, to serious challenges like potential game-over scenarios and disaster expenses. Player-focused events are also detailed, covering aspects like boosting player motivation through competition awareness or dealing with injuries that sideline key team members, adding layers of strategic depth to the simulation experience. There's even a touch of personal interaction with events like receiving Valentine's chocolate from the secretary. This page offers a dynamic preview and detailed strategic advice for Sega's Winter Heat, the arcade sequel to Decathlete. The focus is on mastering the game's arcade port mode by providing one-point advice for all 8 events. While basic game details are included, the core of the report breaks down the strategies needed to excel in each winter sport. For speed ski and speed skate, skillful button mashing is key, though the latter requires careful adjustment. Ski jump success hinges on hitting the optimal 30-degree takeoff angle. In snowboard slalom, using the shadows of the gates helps guide your line. Bobsleigh demands calm handling and precise line tracing. Downhill skiing emphasizes following the course line and timing your jumps. Short track speed skating encourages attacking the inside line to gain an advantage. Finally, cross country is a battle of endurance, requiring smart stamina management. The page also highlights the in-game data museum, accessible for both Winter Heat and Decathlete, offering detailed information on events, a character album, and promotional materials. A glimpse into the character album is provided, featuring Rick Blank from Decathlete, with a brief profile. Overall, this page serves as a quick-hit guide to dominate Winter Heat's events straight from the arcade. This page showcases 2GL's lineup of Sega Saturn games, with a strong focus on the new simulation RPG, Farland Saga. The large illustration features prominent characters, hinting at the game's themes of conflict posed by the tagline, coexistence or domination. Farland Saga promises an innovative system utilizing 3D quarter view for strategic battles and features beautiful graphics, detailed character specs, and a luxurious voice cast including popular actors for characters like Leon, Rarian, and Fam. Screenshots display the tactical combat view, a detailed stat screen, and expressive event scenes. It's set to release on January 29th. The page also highlights other TGL simulation RPGs available on the Saturn, such as Farland Story, Dance of Ruin and Tilk, The Girl from the Blue Sea, alongside the popular fighting game Advanced vs. G, known for its roster of female characters and voice acting. These titles are presented as part of TGL's established collection for the console. This page features 2 distinct titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left we have Himitsu Sentai Metamo V, Secret Sentai Metamo V, a quirky adventure game that looks packed with character and actions. The vibrant artwork highlights a team of colorful heroines, suggesting a transformation or Sentai theme as implied by the title's Metamo element and the tagline about 5 colored warriors. The page teases great success and an interesting adventure game coming out in April, priced at 5,800 yen. It seems like a fun, lighthearted entry focusing on its charming cast and possibly some unique combat or puzzle elements based on the transformation idea. On the right side, the page showcases Graduation 2-1 Wedding Bell. This is the latest entry in the popular Graduation series, known for its school life simulation and character development. This particular title, Wedding Bell, appears to focus on the graduates' future lives, perhaps hinting at romance or new beginnings after school. The artwork features several familiar characters from the series, and it's highlighted as the newest work in the series, set for release in March on both Sega Saturn and PlayStation. The section also prominently features a Graduation 10th Anniversary Memorial Disc and a campaign, indicating the long-running popularity of the franchise. It looks like a significant release for fans, celebrating a decade of the series while moving the story forward. This page features 2 sections. The left showcases Magical Night Dreams Cotton 2, a challenging yet whimsical shooting game for the Sega Saturn. The sequel, now available for 5,800 yen, includes new characters, 2-player mode, and a faithful arcade port. The right side previews the Sega Saturn's future in 1998. A Sagata Senshiro image symbolizes the console's future, while acknowledging its successes. The section, part of a larger feature, discusses 1998's outlook for the Saturn and includes interviews with key figures.
A New Year's gift campaign is also offered. This page is a submission postcard for the magazine, specifically for the Saturn fan. No two Kingdom of Saturn sections. Readers could use this pre-addressed form to send in their contributions. It's addressed to Tim at Tokyoto Minatoku Higashi Shinbashi 1116, postal code 105, and requires a 50 yen stamp. The postcard allows submissions for categories like Game Score Table, the Cornhead Club, and an Other section where readers could specify their topic. Readers needed to circle the relevant section they were submitting to. There are spaces for personal information, including address, name, phone number, pen name, and age. A note indicates that submission content can be anything from letters to illustrations. This page features a detailed interview with Toshihiko Tabata, the chief producer at NEC Interchannel, discussing their strategy for 1998 after a 1997 heavily focused on sentimental graffiti. He explains their plan to launch a new brand, NEC Avenue, and their commitment to the Sega Saturn audience, aiming to please the existing 500,000 users while also developing for the PlayStation. He emphasizes a philosophy of prioritizing quality in individual components rather than grand-scale projects. The interview covers their dual-platform development approach, their view on the future of hardware, currently not considering migration away from Saturn, and why they continue to support Saturn fans. The page also includes brief sections on upcoming titles like Friends Seishun no Kagayaki, Black Matrix, and Monster Maker Holy Dagger, showing screenshots and commenting on their development progress. A report details a year-end party and new title announcement event held in December 1997, where demos for these games were shown, highlighting Monster Maker Holy Dagger with its polygon graphics. There's also a section on a free gift giveaway from the year-end party. This page features an interview with Toshihiro Okamoto from Capcom, discussing their plans for the Sega Saturn in 1998, particularly focusing on Resident Evil 2 and software utilizing the 4 MB RAM expansion. The interview confirms that the Saturn port of Resident Evil 2 is in development and will make full use of the 4 MB RAM. There's discussion about the possibility of original scenarios for the Saturn version, indicating a significant commitment to the port. Capcom sees Mega Man and Street Fighter as ongoing key series, but they are also exploring other genres like RPGs and simulation games. They touch upon the challenges and potential of online gaming and the complexities of developing simulation titles. The page highlights upcoming 4 MB RAM compatible software, showcasing titles like Darkstalkers 3, Pocket Fighter, Dungeons & Dragons Collection, bringing the classic arcade beat-em-ups Tower of Doom and Shadow over Mystara, and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Screenshots are provided for these games, often showing development progress percentages. The 4 MB RAM is crucial for these ports, enabling features like enhanced animation and bringing arcade experiences faithfully to the Saturn. This page continues the interview with Capcom, delving deeper into their plans for the Sega Saturn in 1998. They discuss the challenges and opportunities of the Saturn market, emphasizing their commitment to utilizing the 4 MB RAM expansion for bringing arcade-perfect ports like Darkstalkers 3, Pocket Fighter, and the Dungeons & Dragons Collection, featuring Tower of Doom and Shadow over Mystara, as well as the highly anticipated Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. They confirm Resident Evil 2 is still in development for the platform, and they are exploring other genres beyond their traditional fighting and action games. The page also features an interview with Chunsoft, focusing on the release of their critically acclaimed sound novel, Mashi, known internationally as The City of Lost Heaven, on the Saturn. The interview discusses the lengthy development process for Makati, and hints at future projects, including continuations of the popular Shiren the Wanderer series, a screenshot of which is also shown. Chunsoft expresses their approach to game development, focusing on immersive experiences. Additionally, there's a section promoting a New Year's gift campaign featuring prizes related to various games, including items from Resident Evil, Tamagotchi USA, Mega Man Legends, and signed merchandise related to X-Men vs. Street Fighter and other Capcom titles. This page opens with a New Year's special, looking at the plans of key third-party developers for the Sega Saturn in 1998. A major section is dedicated to Imagineer and their popular Eve series, teasing the next installment, which is planned as a media mix project, potentially including anime and trading cards. They also provide an update on the latest game, Even the Lost One, confirming development is progressing well, with the scenario complete, and highlighting its focus on animation and character interaction. The report then touches upon various other publishers. SNK discusses the status of the King of Fighters 97 and a fighting game collection. Enix reveals their upcoming release, Riven the sequel, Tombist, and the development of a new sports RPG. Data East mentions their Detective Saburo Jinguji series, and hints at continuations. Kadokawa Shuten suggests new titles could arrive in the summer, possibly from the Slayers or Atelier franchises. Kid outlines several upcoming games, and confirms more titles are in the planning stages.
Technosoft indicates a shift towards developing lighter genre games alongside their traditional shoot-'em-ups.
Lastly, Hudson Soft states they will announce new titles for the Saturn in early 1998. The page provides a snapshot of the varied software landscape expected on the platform. This page features the Game Research Lab section, focusing on the popular J.League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru 2 game for the Sega Saturn. The core idea of the game is building and managing your own soccer club. This installment of the lab reveals data for 30 recommended fictional Japanese players available in the game. It breaks down these players by position, specifically highlighting midfielders (MF) and forwards (FW). For each position, there's a list of players with detailed stats rated from AS down to E, covering various skills like shooting, passing, speed, stamina, and positional suitability. Several key players are given dedicated profiles with photos, basic physical data, and commentary from the magazine's editors. These profiles discuss the player's strengths, recommended playstyle, potential growth, and why they are valuable additions to your team. For instance, midfielder Makino Takashi is noted as a highly recommended player with excellent skills, while forward Kawamoto Kimo is praised as a top scorer. The feature serves as a guide for players looking to scout and build a strong team using the game's fictional talent. This page continues the deep dive into J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru 2, this time focusing on defensive players, DF, and goalkeepers, GK. The top section details recommended DF players, listing their names and providing a statistical breakdown across various skills crucial for defenders. Several DF players, including Morizaki Kei and Okumura Tatsuya, are highlighted with profiles, photos, and editor commentary on their strengths, potential, and value to the team, much like the MF and FW profiles from the previous page. The middle section offers crucial insights into player development, titled, Player Growth Varies. Let's understand study abroad, timing, and peaks. This large table breaks down players into different growth types, like early bloomers, standard, sustained, and late bloomers. It charts the expected growth and peak periods for each type across various age ranges, giving managers guidance on when players will be at their best and potentially when to send them abroad for training. The bottom section focuses on goalkeepers, GK, presenting a list of recommended players for this vital position, along with their statistics. Profiles for key GK players, like Ijima Junichiro and Oda Noriaki, provide further detail on their abilities and how they might develop. Overall, this page provides managers with essential data on defensive players and a comprehensive guide to understanding and maximizing player growth throughout their careers in the game.
This page continues the deep dive into J.League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru 2, presenting an exciting editorial tournament where staff members compete to see who can build the strongest team. The competition features 8 teams divided into 2 groups, playing league matches before advancing to a knockout tournament. The main event highlights the fierce battles in the final tournament, culminating in a showdown between Oita Bahena and Takamatsu Mistral. Ultimately, Takamatsu Mistral, managed by editor Matsumoto, emerged victorious, proving their strategic prowess. The page includes a detailed analysis of the winning team, Takamatsu Mistral. It emphasizes their complete reliance on a powerful counterattack strategy, which was deemed the strongest approach in this tournament. The analysis examines their player positioning, defensive structure, and the execution of their counterattacking plays, noting that while they might concede goals, their ability to score quickly on the break makes them formidable. Screenshots even demonstrate a deadly double-sliding tackle move, potentially part of their defensive setup. The piece concludes by reflecting on the tournament's outcome and the proven effectiveness of the counterattack. There's also a section inviting readers to participate in the next editorial competition, offering a chance to challenge the editors themselves. Brief summary of the page. This page covers an editorial tournament in J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru 2, highlighting the winning team, Takamatsu Mistral, and their dominant counterattack strategy.
This page welcomes us to the Conehead Club, a vibrant section showcasing reader contributions and interactions. The Free segment features various letters from fans sharing their recent experiences, from seaside trips and gaming sessions to dealing with everyday life and even navigating driving school. It's a snapshot of the Sega Saturn community's interests beyond just the games themselves, touching on popular titles like Angelique and debating console preferences between PlayStation and Saturn. A major highlight is the illustration gallery, packed with fantastic fan art. We see impressive artwork depicting characters and mechs from a range of titles, including the dark fantasy world of Black Matrix, the tactical battles of Mysteria, the realms of lore, iconic sci-fi adventure in Phantasy Star 2, and the investigative twists of Cross Detective Story. There are also pieces inspired by the recent J.League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru series and classic RPGs like Dragon Quest II. The page also includes a small manga strip, offering a humorous interlude, and announces the results of a contest where readers predicted the cover artwork for a past issue. Overall, it's a lively celebration of the reader's passion for Sega Saturn and gaming culture. Brief summary of the page. This page features the Conehead Club with reader letters, diverse fan art from games like Phantasy Star 2 and Black Matrix, and contest results. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. This page features fan mail and art for Sega Saturn games, focusing on Dragon Force and reports of game save issues, plus fan illustrations for Sega Arcade and Saturn titles. This page opens with the Dragon Force Friends Association, showcasing fan letters and illustrations for the popular strategy RPG Dragon Force. Fans express their love for the game's strategic depth and appealing characters like Jubei, Hayate, and Sophie. There are small character portraits and several pieces of fan art, including one featuring the couple Gon and Uni, and others depicting various characters. Below this is the Corn Kids Network board, where players shared their experiences and issues. Several submissions discuss encountering save data problems with various games, highlighting the struggles with older console memory management and the use of RAM cartridges to prevent data loss. It serves as a snapshot of the technical challenges players sometimes faced. Finally, the Sega Am Freak section celebrates Sega's arcade output and upcoming titles, including a call for fan art for Virtua Fighter Kids, Oratorio Tangram. This section features fan illustrations for popular Sega titles like Fighters Megamix, Winter Heat, Panzer Dragoon Saga, referred to by its Japanese subtitle Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG, and Soldnerchild. The announcement of Dragon Force 2 is also mentioned here, building anticipation among fans. This page dives into the fan perspective, with sections dedicated to their voices and creative output. Voices Hoping for Sequels features readers campaigning for follow-ups or improvements to games like Virtua Fighter Kids, Cyberdoll, and F1. The Kids Hope section gathers various reader opinions and requests, touching upon the future of the console and desired game features. Hello from the Questionnaire Postcards piles feedback directly from reader surveys, covering impressions on titles such as Virtua Fighter 3 and House of the Dead, alongside general thoughts on gaming and the magazine itself. The Hall of Fame Illustrations showcases winning fan art, recognizing talented readers who submitted pieces based on games like Dragon Force, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Sakura Wars, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Readers also share their recent gaming experiences and detailed play impressions in dedicated sections, mentioning titles like Grandia, Sega Touring Car Championship, Sonic Dar, Dragon Force, and A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World. Finally, a ranking of the magazine's articles based on reader feedback is presented, distinguishing the most and least interesting content. This page presents a novel idea for readers, turning magazine content into valuable CD jackets. The concept is to cut out selected artwork and essential game data from previous issues to create custom covers for game crids, offering both aesthetic appeal and practical strategy information. Featured prominently are examples of these custom jackets, showcasing cover art from various titles like Advanced World War, Sennen Taikoku no Kubu, Last Bronx, Sonic Jam, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, and Neon Genesis Evangelion. Second impression. The instructions are simple. Cut out the print and insert it into a CD case. The right side of the page delves deeper into one specific game, Advanced World War, a strategic simulation. It provides a detailed point guidance section, offering strategic tips, particularly focused on navigating the game's branching scenarios and achieving all endings by using key GP, likely gameplay points, at specific decision points. A large table is also present, detailing victory conditions and points earned for different maps within the game, serving as a valuable resource for players aiming to optimize their performance. This combination of collectible art and useful game data makes the jackets truly valuable, as the title suggests. This page offers strategic insights for two distinct games. Building on the previous focus, there is an extensive scenario-branching chart for Advanced World War. Rise and Fall of the Thousand-Year Empire, a strategic simulation, detailing paths players must follow, often based on achieving certain scores or conditions indicated by numbers like 100 or more, to unlock different outcomes and endings. Accompanying this are detailed tables listing weapons acquired on specific maps and the conditions needed to earn medals and other rewards for battlefield performance. Shifting focus, the page also introduces Story of the Seven Winds Island, an adventure game from Enix. It includes basic release information and a description hinting at an exploration of a peculiar island to unravel mysteries connected to Seven Winds, with the goal of completing the storybook within the game. Featured is a captivating image of a bizarre, large creature from the game. The page provides point guidance tips and even detailed walkthrough sections, indicating a strong focus on helping players navigate the game's narrative and puzzles. It's great to see coverage of both deep strategy and unique adventure titles. The next page continues the exploration of Story of the Seven Winds Island, providing a useful map of the titular island to help players navigate and reduce aimless wandering. It highlights the God Tree Seal item, crucial for fast travel between locations, emphasizing the need to remember key spots as not all destinations are initially available. A curious detail is pointed out regarding wooden cabinets within the game, whose faces change expression based on unknown conditions, adding a touch of mystery and encouraging collection of different looks. The page also introduces Last Bronx, presented as a faithful arcade port on 2 discs, released in August 1997. This 3D fighting game is marketed towards everyone from newcomers to seasoned veterans, promising detailed combo guides. The point guidance section reinforces this, praising the quality of the arcade conversion and mentioning a special disc designed to deepen player knowledge. Screenshots showcase the game's action, and a unique classroom-style character art illustration is featured. The page includes detailed lists of character moves and combos, showing specific button inputs and the resulting actions, demonstrating the depth of the combat system covered for this weapon-based fighter. This page continues the coverage of Last Bronx, showcasing move lists and screenshots for additional characters in this weapon-based 3D fighter. Players can see detailed command inputs and visual examples for characters like Kusanami Risa, Tomie Hiroshi, Konoyoko, Kurosawa Toru, Hojo Nagi, and Zaimoku Saburo, expanding upon the combat system hints from the previous page. The page also introduces the romance adventure game Kakusei, released in April 1997. Described as Elf's second Saturn title, it features appealing female characters and focuses on a realistic depiction of love with 13 heroines. The point guidance section emphasizes the wonderful romance packed within the game, mentioning dating mechanics and securing phone numbers as key elements. The page provides strategic guidance for progressing with specific heroines, offering tips on events and optimal date locations, and times for characters like Midorikawa Maki, Mochida Honoka, Yamashita Mimori, and Mitsuki Shizuka. The artwork features character illustrations and a scene with heroines in swimsuits, reinforcing the romantic and character-focused nature of the game. This page continues the look at Kakusei, offering detailed character strategy guides for several heroines. Players get tips on navigating relationships, including triggering specific events, and finding the optimal times and locations for dates, with characters like Mizuho Yuki, Reiko Shindao, Mayumi Tachibana, Ryuko Kanu, Nana Minagawa, and Miyuki Ijima. The focus is on building affection and progressing through their individual story arcs. The page also includes a commentary on the W-date events in Kakusei, explaining this mechanic, where double dates are crucial for progression. A flowchart illustrates the sequence of events needed to unlock these key dates. Screenshots show characters enjoying activities like swimming and bowling, highlighting the date simulation aspects of the game. Furthermore, the page introduces Desire, an adventure game set on an isolated research facility. It features stunning artwork of the main character, Tina, and promises strategic guidance for players. The point guidance section provides a step-by-step walkthrough for both Makoto's and Tina's story arcs, detailing the actions and events required to advance through this intriguing mystery title. Screenshots from the game illustrate key moments and characters players will encounter. This page delves deeper into the adventure game Desire. Following up from the previous feature, the layout showcases the main characters with their portraits: Albert, Al, Makoto, Tina, and Maruchina. A significant portion is dedicated to the charte de patch,
which provides a detailed walkthrough or flowchart for the game's first 4 days, specifically highlighting events and actions for Al and Makoto's routes. This helps players navigate the complex branching story. The point guidance section offers strategic tips for the game's modern arc, an auto-dividing mapping adventure, ADM. It explains the goal of finding scattered treasures across parallel worlds, and notes that player choices influence the ending. Hints are provided for locating specific treasure points within the game world, with screenshots illustrating these key locations. The feature also mentions the title Yuno, suggesting a potential connection or reference. For fans of the music, a BGM appreciation mode is highlighted, explaining how to unlock and access the game's soundtrack after completing certain scenarios. Finally, a vibrant illustration at the top right features several characters, seemingly from the game, in a dynamic pose, adding to the visual appeal of the page. The next page is a detailed feature on the adventure game Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world. It provides an in-depth look at the game's characters, story, and mechanics. The page introduces several key characters with portraits and descriptions, including Arima Ayumi, Asakura Kaori, and Takeda Eriko. It also touches upon the game's narrative, which involves traveling to another world. A large section is dedicated to mapping out the game's progression, with a flowchart showing different routes and branching points players can take. It highlights how choices affect the story and the path forward. The feature also explains the treasure points, special items scattered throughout the game that are crucial for progression and unlocking secrets, noting that finding these is key to solving the game's puzzles. Adding to the interactive nature of the feature, there's a puzzle section challenging readers to answer the name of time, which includes 2 grid puzzles, one for the right side and one for the left side answer, reminiscent of Picross or nonogram puzzles, likely related to solving a riddle within the game. Screenshots illustrate key moments or locations, such as the game's unique treasure points found in places like a projector room or within a clock mechanism. This feature serves as both an introduction and a valuable guide for players navigating Yuno's complex world and story. This page continues the feature on Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, introducing more key characters including Mizuki Ichijo, Mio Shimazu, and Kana Hatano, complete with portraits and descriptions. The Yuno section also includes a detailed flowchart illustrating the game's branching paths in the latter half, guiding players towards the ending. A specific section highlights a tricky point, Branch 10, explaining how to navigate the storehouse area to progress. Moving to the right side, the page features 2 other notable titles. Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG is showcased with dramatic artwork and a description positioning it as a cinematic simulation RPG set in space, emphasizing its real-time battles and impactful video sequences. Below this, Samurai Showdown RPG is presented, highlighting its transformation from a popular fighting game into a role-playing experience, with 2 distinct scenarios and the introduction of new original characters, accompanied by striking artwork. Both game features include boxes with key information like genre and player count. This page dives into a couple of significant titles and provides an update on the Saturn scene. On the left, we see Evangelion's Second Impression, presented as a powered-up scenario adventure building on its predecessor. It highlights the shift to polygon battles and how player choices influence the evolving story. Below it is Sonic Jam, a compilation bringing classic Genesis, Mega Drive Sonic titles to the Saturn, notably including a new 3D polygon area called Sonic World, alongside valuable video content. The large central text marks this as Saturn no Ukoku, or Kingdom of Saturn, serving as a kind of index or hub for various articles and features within this section of the magazine. Over on the right, the News Dynamite section catches the eye, focusing on the latest Saturn-related news. A particularly interesting segment details the filming of a Sagata Sanshiro commercial, specifically his dramatic, tile-breaking stunt, complete with photos showing his attempts and the resulting action. Further down is a report on the Tokyo Game Show 98 Spring, discussing the event setup designed to reduce congestion, the expansion to more halls, and the addition of PC Game and CISA award sections, indicating a growing scope for the show. The winning poster artwork is also featured. This page is packed with news and releases for Sega fans. On the left, we get details on the second part of the Sakura Wars, Uzuka Kenran OVA series, showing key characters like Sumair and Kanan. It highlights the intense training and battles the Imperial Assault Force members face. Moving to the center, there's a mention of an SNK event celebrating their fan club's anniversary,
with character PHS covers as prizes. Below that, an announcement for Denu Senki Virtual On-Area Tournaments is featured, listing locations across Japan where players can test their skills.
The News Dynamite
section is where we see the latest game-related merchandise. This includes original soundtracks for Machi and Culdicept, a drama CAD for Resident Evil, and a video release of a special Sakura Wars stage performance. There's also a guidebook for Ochi game designer Tsutepon, and a music CD for Elf no Washuramono. Further down, the Sega Direct section announces January releases under the MMV label, featuring the highly acclaimed Sonic R, and the soundtracks for the arcade racers Motor Raid / Waterski and Power Drift. Finally, a fun segment covers an in-store event at Tower Records Shibuya, where actors from the game Machi appeared for its release, and a present campaign for readers offering items like the games Suisu no Shima Monogatari and Kaigen Trial Love, plus a signed CD. The page concludes with a list of winners from previous magazine contests involving titles like YS-Net vs Street Fighter and Devil Summoner. This page features the Ranking Street section, presenting game information based on sales data and reader feedback. Dominating the Saturn sales rankings is the highly anticipated RPG, Grandia. The charts show its impressive sales performance across multiple weeks following its release, quickly climbing to and holding the top spot, highlighting its significant impact on the market. A separate ranking focuses on reader popularity for upcoming or recent titles. Sakura Wars 2 stands out as the frontrunner, poised to be a major hit in the spring season based on reader votes. The page also features a port request ranking, where readers express which games they want to see on the Saturn. Exciting news here is the confirmed port of Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel, a title highly requested by fans, now officially announced for the console. An article expands on this news, confirming the port is happening due to strong fan demand. Another article briefly mentions upcoming Sega Direct titles, including discussions around sequels or related projects to the beloved action game Guardian Heroes. This page presents the Ranking Street feature, focusing on reader-submitted game ratings and reviews. Topping the list is the visual novel Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world, receiving overwhelming support and achieving an impressive high score average, placing it first overall. Other notable titles in the ranking include fighting giants like X-Men vs Street Fighter, RPGs like Vandal Hearts, and racers like Sonic R, showing a diverse mix of genres popular with players. The reader review section highlights strong opinions on Yuno, praising its deep narrative, complex branching paths, ADM system, engaging characters, and emotional impact, despite some feeling it could be more streamlined. Reviews also touch on the game's beautiful graphics and music. Other readers comment on titles like Bubble Symphonia, Warcraft 2, Dark Saga, and Bluebreaker, offering varied perspectives on their gameplay, story, and overall enjoyment, often noting specific aspects they loved or found lacking. Finally, the Maker's Voice section features a comment from Elf, the publisher of Yuno, expressing gratitude for the positive reception and high scores, highlighting the game as a culmination of their efforts and encouraging players to experience it. Reader feedback on Sega Saturn games continues. X-Men vs Street Fighter ranks second, praised for its arcade-perfect port, smooth animation, and character roster, though some mention loading times. Galaxy Fraulein Una 3. Lightning Angel is third, appreciated for its visual novel segments, voice acting, and returning characters, but the simulation battle system receives mixed reactions. Cotton 2, in fourth place, receives praise for its classic shooting feel, charming characters, and engaging combo system. Developers for all three games express gratitude for the positive reception. This page continues the reader ranking street, showcasing games placed from 5th to 11th. The feedback follows the pattern from the previous page, with sections for reader comments and messages from the developers. Taking the 5th spot is Bubble Symphony, a sequel to the classic Bubble Bobble. Readers loved this faithful arcade port, praising its enhanced mechanics and challenging gameplay that builds satisfyingly on the original formula. Following its 6th is Warcraft 2, Dark Saga. Fans of real-time strategy appreciated its strategic depth and straightforward commands, though some found the initial learning curve steep and load times lengthy. Further down the list, Sonic Star comes in at 8th. This racing game was noted for its speed and vibrant graphics, but some players felt the controls were clunky and level design could be frustratingly maze-like. Meanwhile, Sega Touring Car Championship, at 10th, received praise for its arcade feel and sense of speed, but was criticized for lacking content compared to its arcade counterpart and having uninspired AI. Other notable entries include Blue Breaker at 7th, an RPG where relationship building seemed a key element, praised for its events despite some finding parts confusing. The dating sim Refrain Love secured 9th place, appreciated for its realistic dramatic presentation, but noted for some simplicity in the dating mechanics. Finally, the tactical RPG Vandal Hearts is 11th, likened for its strategic battles, although some found the story basic and camera angles frustrating. Developers for all games expressed thanks for the feedback. A reader-voted ranking of video games, from 12th to 19th, highlights various strengths and weaknesses. JIKU Powerful Pro Yaku Jess, a baseball game, receives praise for controls but criticism for outdated visuals. Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari, an adventure game, is lauded for its core gameplay, but faulted for slow movement and pacing. Umanari, One Furlong Gikiju, a horse racing game, is appreciated for its accessibility and light-hearted tone, though breeding and races are seen as shallow. Sega Ages Volume 2, a compilation, is praised for its variety and faithful ports, but some feel Fantasy Zone isn't as well adapted. Virtual Qt 2, a boat racing sim, gets praise for realism and intensity, but is seen as challenging. Grand Red, a strategy game, is lauded for its depth, though difficulty is noted. Gaia Breeder, a creature-raising game, is enjoyed for relaxation but criticized for a lack of depth in breeding. Finally, Hopstep Idol, an idol-raising game, is likened for its visuals but criticized for simple training and weak story. Developers thanked fans for feedback and provided some future plans. This page dives deep into the reader-submitted game rankings, breaking them down from multiple angles. It features the historical game results table Best 200, listing the top games as rated by players. Topping the chart is the undisputed king, Virtua Fighter 2, followed closely by the epic Sakura Wars and the original Virtua Fighter. The table provides a total score and a breakdown across various evaluation criteria, which are represented by icons. It also includes the historical worst 15, showing the games that didn't quite hit the mark with players. Rounding out the analysis is a ranking of the soft evaluation high manufacturer Best 10, highlighting the developers whose games consistently received high praise, with ELF taking the top spot based on the average score of their Saturn releases. The data is compiled from reader feedback received shortly after the games launched, giving a snapshot of initial impressions for a vast library of titles. The page is mostly filled with these detailed lists and explanatory text, offering a comprehensive look at player reception during this period. This page continues the deep dive into the reader rankings, offering a detailed breakdown by game genre and specific evaluation criteria across 11 distinct genres, including popular categories like fighting, action, RPG, and racing. The top-ranked games are revealed. Unsurprisingly, games like Virtua Fighter 2, Sakura Wars, Daytona USA, Nights into Dreams, and Dead or Alive feature prominently, often topping their respective genre lists. Beyond genre, the page analyzes games based on factors like character appeal, sound/effect quality, control responsiveness, player enthusiasm, value for money, and originality. Sakura Wars receives high praise in character and sound, while Virtua Fighter 2 is lauded for its exceptional control and the sheer enthusiasm it generates. Commentary notes the surprising strength of Bishoujo, Beautiful Girl, games in certain categories, and highlights how Virtua Fighter 2's polished action captivated a massive audience. Finally, the page presents a historical overview, showing the evolution of the top 10 games over 3 periods since the Saturn's launch, demonstrating how some titles maintain their dominance, while new hits climb the charts over time. This page features the real-time game ranking based on reader votes received up to December 4, 1997. The ranking highlights the current popularity and satisfaction levels of Sega Saturn titles. At the top of the list is Sakura Wars, followed by Kono Yono Hate de Koi, Outau Shoujo Yuno, Super Robot Wars F, and EVR Burst Error. A specific call-out section notes the exceptionally high satisfaction per voter for Yuno and X-Men vs. Street Fighter. The page also includes a cumulative ranking of the top 20 games over the past 6 months, where Sakura Wars maintains its dominance, joined by classics like Nights into Dreams and Lunar Silver Star Story. The rankings are derived from reader feedback, reflecting which games resonated most strongly with players.
This page outlines a major reader giveaway, offering 50 copies of Sega Saturn games to lucky participants. To enter, readers must fill out a detailed questionnaire covering various aspects of their gaming life and opinions on the magazine's content. The questionnaire delves into reader demographics, the types of magazines and gaming hardware they own or are interested in, and their experiences and preferences regarding games featured in this issue and upcoming titles. It also asks for feedback on what games readers would like to see featured or receive strategy guides for. Reference lists are provided, including articles in the current issue, other gaming magazines, various hardware platforms, previously played games, and a substantial list of Sega Saturn games scheduled for release after January 15th. The questionnaire also includes criteria for evaluating games, such as character design, music, value, controls, and originality. The highlight is the list of 10 Sega Saturn games being given away, including titles like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Winter Heat, Baroque, Stella Assault SS, Chaos Seed, and Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, Heart, no Kimochi, among others. The page also includes instructions on how to correctly fill out the entry postcard for the giveaway, emphasizing proper formatting for computer readability. This page presents a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn software titles released up to December 25, 1997. It serves as a catalog for readers, perhaps tying into the previous page's questionnaire which referenced upcoming games. The list is neatly organized by genre, covering a vast range of game types available on the platform at the time. Major categories include fighting action, standard action games, various simulation genres like simulation RPGs, adventure titles, role-playing games, 2D and 3D shooters, sports games, racing games, puzzle games, mahjong titles, table games, and a general other category. Each entry is numbered, followed by the game title. This is a thorough resource for any Saturn owner or enthusiast from that era, showcasing the breadth of the console's library. It's essentially a checklist of titles available for purchase or reference for anyone filling out a survey about their gaming habits and preferences. This page features an advertisement for the Computer Dreamland Game Designer Academy across several locations in Japan, highlighting its courses for 1998 enrollment and student success stories, positioning itself as Japan's largest game creator school. Adjacent to the school information is a large advertisement for Sponk's fighting game, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, ported to the Sega Saturn. The page showcases stunning character artwork featuring iconic fighters like Terry Bogard, Mai Shiranui, Blue Mary, and Billy Kane, among many others from the Fatal Fury universe. Promoted as the pinnacle of the Fatal Fury series and a perfect port for the Sega Saturn, it emphasizes the game's quality and features, noting its compatibility with the expansion RAM cartridge for enhanced performance. Small screenshots provide a glimpse of the intense 2D fighting action the series is known for. This page is a reader response postcard used for a survey and prize giveaway. Fans are directed to evaluate games listed on page 137 based on their experiences and enter a number for their desired prize for the magazine's offerings. This page features a report on Eve the Lost One, focusing on the mystery surrounding characters and events. The article highlights Adonis, a cryptic figure operating within the game's cyberspace, often appearing as a pixelated teddy bear, and their connection to the unfolding incidents. The narrative is structured around the perspectives of the two main protagonists, a hallmark of the Eve series, allowing players to uncover the truth from different angles. Cyberspace itself is presented as a crucial element, serving both as a source of information and a place where Adonis manipulates events, including giving instructions to another character known as Snake. Character artwork is also featured, showcasing the game's visual style alongside screenshots of the computer interface used within the digital world. This report teases the intricate web of relationships and the vital role of the digital realm in solving the game's central mystery. This page from Eve the Lost One introduces the story through the eyes of Snake and Kyoko Kono. Snake, caught in a bomb plot, experiences internal conflict, the explosion, and its aftermath. Screenshots depict the bomb site and his flight. Kyoko, on a shopping break, is unexpectedly caught in the explosion. Screenshots show her routine before the bombing, the blast site, and her recovery in an ambulance. A dynamic illustration shows Kyoko with a pistol, highlighting her role as a protagonist. The page focuses on the protagonist's differing perspectives on the bombing, emphasizing their imminent meeting and setting the stage for the game's mystery and dual narrative. This page dives into Code R, a racing game that breaks the mold by demanding captivating driving and blending in adventure elements. The core gameplay involves racing, but modes like Adventure and Replay add depth, influencing the story and how the game unfolds. The Adventure mode is key for interacting with the game's 7 main female characters. The right side of the page highlights these 7 women, stressing their vital roles as rivals, friends, or potential partners, significantly impacting the game's story and ending. The characters featured include Goto Chi, a 29-year-old nurse, Saito Minami, a 29-year-old model, Aoki Yuko, a 17-year-old student, Enomoto Sayuri, a 17-year-old childhood friend, Watanabe Shizuko, a 24-year-old street racer, Araki Miho, an 18-year-old childhood friend, and Asano Yuki, a 17-year-old student. Briefly mentioned is the publisher, especially Entertainment Software Publishing, highlighting their commitment to the entertainment industry and noting their previous success with titles like Grandia. The page includes screenshots showcasing the racing and adventure modes, as well as portraits of the female characters and photos related to especially. This page presents a continuation report on Graduation 2.1's Wedding Bell. It details the game's unique premise, navigating the daily life of a newly married teacher while desperately trying to keep the marriage a secret from students and colleagues. The game incorporates a secret matrix system where gathering information is crucial. Success depends on choosing the right date locations and navigating interactions with students to avoid exposure. The page highlights various mini-games representing school events like the Seaside School and Sports Day, adding interactive elements to the gameplay. Character interactions are also a key focus, featuring 5 distinct female students with unique personalities and fashion styles, and even commenting on how they address the protagonist. The report also mentions a tie-in radio drama for Graduation 2i, listing the voice actors involved. Overall, the content emphasizes the blend of simulation, strategy, and character interaction in this intriguing new title. This page provides an initial exploration into Puyo Puyo Dungeon, a mysterious dungeon crawler, where the layout changes every time you enter. It introduces new information about the dungeon itself and the special moves of the characters that appear. The report highlights several characters, including classic Puyo Puyo figures. Enemy characters Harpy, Draco, and Witch are shown, with brief descriptions of their fighting styles. The main character, Arle, is discussed, focusing on her versatile magic attacks like fire and ice, and her powerful Jugem spell, depicted with significant visual effects. Schizo Wegi is presented as an all-around character skilled in both magic and weapon attacks, showcasing his impressive Ariard technique, which involves a barrage of swords. Rulu is introduced as a character who doesn't use magic, but excels in powerful martial arts and special moves like Kick Concentration and Queen Rebellion. The first boss character encountered in the beginner's dungeon is Skeleton T, known for his surprisingly varied attacks, including Ochabomber. The page also touches upon the dungeon's mechanics, detailing the presence of numerous hidden traps that appear randomly and can have positive or negative effects. Items are also randomly distributed, some beneficial, others not, and their effects may not be immediately obvious. Screenshots illustrate various combat scenarios, spell effects, and dungeon environments, giving a taste of the game's visual style and gameplay. A small table provides basic game information, like release date and genre. This page delves into Jake Hunter detective story, at the end of the dream, revealing new details about the game's unique zapping system, which allows players to switch between characters, each essentially serving as a protagonist. The report confirms a total of 4 playable zapping characters, and introduces 3 key supporting figures, who will create complex relationships within the story. We learn about the essential gameplay mechanics needed to solve the mystery. The game features a unique ISP command, described as helpful when the player gets stuck. Crucial items for investigation include the cell phone, vital for communication and gathering information, and the classic detective's notebook for reviewing clues and case details. Fans of the series will be pleased to see the return of the signature Smoke a Cigarette command, a familiar action for Jake Hunter that helps players think things through. The newly revealed characters are highlighted. The 4th zapping character is 19-year-old Miki Nagata, a high school student currently studying for exams. Her older sister, Yuka Nagata, is 24, works in a lab, and is a former classmate of Yoko Misono, featuring a calm personality contrasting with Miki's. We're also introduced to Masahiro Noda, a hot-blooded rookie detective partnered with Kumano. The page also includes a section seemingly written from the perspective of Yoko Misono herself, reflecting on her high school days and connection to Yuka Nagata, adding character depth beyond the main case. This page presents a deep dive into the upcoming game Baroque. It highlights the real-time exploration of the mysterious tower, where enemies attack from all directions,
adding constant tension. Combat is shown using different weapons, such as the Ice Chain and Flame Chain, each with unique effects. The report introduces 3 menacing, malformed beings players will encounter. Kato, a spinning mechanical creature that pulls players in. Shinmoros, a large-headed monster that depletes vitality by inhaling air. And Ares, a centaur-like being, skilled in ranged attacks and capable of emitting dark smoke. Discovering items is crucial, but their effects can be unpredictable and vary with each playthrough.
The page emphasizes that items should not be underestimated. Finally, it details the Baroque Report Kurdram, a free pre-release distribution containing movies, photos, and data files about the game world and creatures. A must-have for fans eager for a sneak peek before the main game launches. This page features a detailed report on Stellar Assault SS, the Sega Saturn port, and sequel to the Super 32X game Stellar Assault. It's a 3D shooter with varied missions and locations. The report highlights several new elements in the Saturn version, including a second playable ship, the Feathery Type B, which differs in weapons and capabilities, and can be piloted by 2 players cooperatively. The game also includes various cinematic movies, from the opening sequence to mission briefings, and even movies showcasing the ships from different angles. A major feature is the extensive use of real-time voice communication during missions. Briefings are presented via movies with voiceovers, and in-game, players receive constant messages from teammates in command, enhancing the immersion and making battles feel more dramatic. The flow of the first stage is described, involving scanning, engaging enemies, and proceeding through various encounters. The page introduces the main characters and their voice actors, emphasizing how the voice work adds depth to the game's dramatic combat. Characters like Commander Jake McPherson, Pilot Rob Hardy, the tactical computer Edgar, and others are profiled, showcasing the effort put into the game's presentation and narrative through voice acting. This page provides a detailed look at Chaos Seed, a unique simulation game where players build and nurture dungeons to revive a dying world. As a hermit-like figure called a Dowsen, you construct Senkutsu dungeons designed to generate vital energy needed for restoration. The core gameplay alternates between active turns, focused on building rooms, battling invaders, and gathering energy, and strategic collection times, dedicated to directing summoned Senju, immortal beasts, to transport resources within the dungeon. The page breaks down the key steps, from establishing production and refining rooms and defending against enemy attacks, to summoning Senju and meticulously planning their routes. Various screenshots illustrate the different room types, combat, and the game's interface. The feature also touches upon a special bonus disc included with the first production run, which contains extra content like character interviews, a card-based minigame called the Game Room, a voice-acted comic, and a sound test, along with character artwork. This page continues the deep dive into Chaos Seed, guiding players from the mid-game expansion to the late-game strategic options. It highlights the importance of rooms beyond basic production, introducing utility structures critical for efficient dungeon management. The feature details the scouting room, essential for quickly identifying enemy locations within its range, allowing players to react effectively to invasions. Complementing this is the transfer room, which enables instant travel between linked rooms, drastically cutting down on movement time and ensuring rapid response to threats across the expanding dungeon. During the collection time, accumulated energy, or senjutsu, is used to strengthen existing rooms, boosting their production, scouting range, or other capabilities. This continuous reinforcement is key to handling larger invasions and gathering energy more effectively. The article then touches upon late-game possibilities, including specialized rooms like the storehouse for item management and potential character enhancement, as well as attack and excavation rooms for direct combat and resource gathering, offering niche but powerful options. Finally, the core objective is emphasized, depositing the collected energy into the Dragon Vein Furnace. This process directly contributes to reviving the dying world. Visually depicted as the barren landscape transforming back into lush forests, players must manage the furnace's capacity and strategically deposit energy to achieve world restoration. The page also provides a summary of room types built and their stats as a progress snapshot. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. This page is dedicated to the simulation RPG, Uncharted Waters. New Horizons, detailing its core gameplay loop, character choices, preparation for voyages, dangers at sea, and combat systems. Uncharted Waters. New Horizons, a simulation RPG set on the vast sea, lets players choose between 2 paths, adventurer or pirate,
embodied by 4 distinct characters, each with their own scenario. Gameplay revolves around preparing for voyages in towns, managing resources like food and water, upgrading ships at the shipyard, engaging in trade for profit at the exchange, and taking on missions at the guild. Exploring the world involves navigating the seas, discovering new ports and settlements, and encountering random events like storms or illness. Combat occurs at sea against pirates or other ships, featuring both tactical map movement and close-up battles that can involve cannon fire or boarding. There are also boss encounters presented as unique card battles. The goal is to freely explore the world and achieve your character's specific objectives, whether it's finding treasure or becoming a notorious pirate. This page showcases 2 distinct games from the Sega Saturn library. First up is a historical simulation game titled Sakamoto Ryoma, focusing on the turbulent Bakumatsu period in Japan. Players aim to unite the country by persuading over 500 historical figures to join their cause. Gameplay involves interacting in towns to recruit allies, acquire weapons, and train skills. Strategic meetings with comrades allow for planning and issuing commands. Major historical events, such as Commodore Perry's arrival, are integrated into the game, influencing the narrative and gameplay. The game emphasizes political maneuvering and strategic decision-making over direct action. The second game featured is the vibrant music and rhythm action title, Girls Rhythm. This game centers around cute, Chiba-style characters, engaging in dance battles set to various musical genres. The core gameplay involves hitting button inputs in time with the rhythm to make your character dance or perform attacks. Various modes are available, including a story mode following the main character vanilla, a versus mode for 2-player battles, and distinct rhythm jungle and battle jungle modes that put different spins on the rhythm mechanics, sometimes incorporating HP and attacking elements. Success relies on precise timing and rhythmic skill. This page showcases 2 distinct game experiences on the Sega Saturn. First is Wakamatsu Shogi Juku, a comprehensive shogi title designed to improve players of all levels, from beginners to advanced. Supervised by professional shogi player Wakamatsu, the game offers standard matches, challenging blindfold play, and unique 3-player variants. There's also a mode to replay saved games like a video, allowing for detailed analysis, and a mode focused on solving shogi problems supervised by Wakamatsu himself, perfect for sharpening tactical skills. Featured next is Uno DX, bringing the popular card game Uno to life with vibrant anime-style characters. Players can enjoy the classic Uno experience in free Uno mode, team up with others in partner Uno, or dive into an adventure mode called Advance Uno, where the protagonist aims to become the Uno champion by challenging various characters. The game emphasizes the fun and social aspects of Uno, with expressive characters and different ways to play. The next page dives into the magical girl world with the TV version, Pretty Sammy Adventure Game 2. This title brings the popular anime spin-off to the Sega Saturn for its second adventure game installment. It boasts a significant increase in content compared to the first game, featuring 2 main story arcs for plenty of playtime. The game offers a rich narrative experience with numerous branching paths and choices that dramatically alter the story's progression. Players will encounter new challenges, including mysterious psychics and strange new weapons codenamed Kira Kira Kuda. One of the featured scenarios revolves around a heartwarming and likely chaotic Valentine's Day chocolate-making event, showcasing the daily lives of the characters alongside the magical battles. Adding to the depth, the game introduces original characters not seen in the TV anime. Screenshots display dialogue scenes, transformations, action sequences, and everyday moments, all rendered in the anime's vibrant style. A special bonus for Saturn owners is an exclusive music video for the song My Favorite Boy. This page presents 2 distinct action-focused titles. First up is Noon, described as a new type of action puzzle game where players battle by filling their opponent's field with Noon gems. The goal is to strategically place and clear these gems by connecting, crushing, or colliding them, while utilizing special items to gain an advantage. The game offers story, versus, and score attack modes, and features 6 distinct characters, suggesting varied gameplay approaches. It looks like a frantic, screen-filling battle of wits and speed. Following that is Taiketsu Hakayo, Sonic Council, a fighting game based on a popular comic. The combat system emphasizes timing for pulling off combos and special moves, including aerial combat. A key mechanic is the Spirit Gauge, which, when full, allows for powerful Iron Arm killer moves, some of which can even be stocked for later use or chained together. The game promises to faithfully recreate signature techniques directly from the source material, and features 9 fighters, each possessing unique iron arm abilities, bringing the dynamic comic action to life on screen. This page features impressions and reviews of several Sega Saturn titles, along with a brief look at upcoming software. It leads off with a section titled, Saturn Soft Impression, highlighting games currently performing well, notably Sentimental Graffiti, which is strong in rankings and pre-orders. The page includes reviewer profiles, giving context to their opinions. Featured game impressions include Solo Crisis, a simulation game likened to Populous, where players manage the dilemma of troop advantage affecting both sides, focusing on strategic depth and map variety. Chaos Seed is presented as a complex core simulation title for enthusiasts, blending elements of strategy, resource management, and dungeon exploration. Sentimental Graffiti is described as having a unique concept centered around interacting with 12 different girls, a game that demands time and communication. Finally, Uncharted Waters Gaiden, a side story in the renowned exploration RPG series, is highlighted as another solid entry especially recommended for newcomers, focusing on adventure, trade, battle, and character interactions. Each game includes brief reviewer comments and average scores. There's also a list of software scheduled to be released between January 22nd and 29th. This page features more Saturn Soft Impression reviews, diving into a mix of genres. First up is Prisoner of Ice, an atmospheric horror adventure praised for its unique mood and Cthulhu mythos hints, though reviewers note its high difficulty and sometimes frustrating puzzles make it best suited for genre fans. Next is Machi, a text adventure focusing heavily on story and reading, lauded for its high production value and unique narrative structure following multiple characters. The highly anticipated RPG, Panzer Dragoon Saga, is featured, receiving strong praise for evolving the series into a compelling RPG, with a great story, detailed world, and beautiful graphics, particularly highlighting the dragon's movement and strategic battles. Zap! Snowboarding Tricks 98 offers a solid snowboarding experience with varied modes, although reviewers point out tricky air trick timing and frustrating landings despite good course design. Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, Heart of Kimochi, an anime-based adventure, is noted for its increased content volume and high tension, appealing directly to fans with its character focus and events. Finally, Photogenic is a simulation/adventure game where you take pictures, earning acclaim for its beautiful graphics and character personalities, but critiqued for limited gameplay freedom and challenging completion conditions. The page features screenshots and brief reviewer comments for each title. This page features more Saturn Soft Impression reviews, covering a variety of titles. First up is Soko Sei Tokai, a fighting game based on a manga, noted for having good controls and system mechanics but lacking originality, making it primarily for fans of the source material, with scores averaging 6.0. Next is the action puzzle game Noon, which reviewers found technically deep and tactical, praising its variety and fun factor for puzzle enthusiasts, earning an average score of 7.0. The rhythm game Jian R is highlighted for its good atmosphere and simple controls, making it easy to pick up despite mixed scores averaging 4.7. The PC port RPG Gunblaze S is reviewed, feeling dated and critiqued for its gameplay and presentation, receiving an average score of 4.3. A shogi simulator, Honkaku Shogi Shinan Wakamatsu Shogi, is presented as a standard shogi game with a strong CPU, suitable for both beginners and experts, averaging 5.3. Finally, Uno DX brings the classic card game to the Saturn, with effective presentation, making it a solid digital version for fans of Uno, also averaging 5.3. Each review includes screenshots and brief commentary. This page highlights several new software titles for the Saturn, prominently featuring the highly anticipated sound novel, Machi. Published by Chunsoft, Machi is presented as the third game in their acclaimed sound novel series, following Otogirishu and Kamaitachi no Yoru. The game is centered around the interconnected stories of 8 different characters, unfolding in the bustling city. Reviewers discuss the game's engaging narrative structure, the quality of its writing, humorous moments, and the strength of its character development, noting it continues the high standards of the series. Also featured are a standard shogi game, Mario Busho no Chao Shogi, and a shogi training tool. These offer typical digital implementations of the classic board game, one focusing on strong CPU play and the other on improving skills through exercises. Additional sections briefly mention an official guidebook for Machi, and details about a promotional campaign by Chunsoft. Overall, the page emphasizes the debut of Machi, showcasing it as a significant release for fans of narrative-driven games and the sound novel genre.
This page showcases new and upcoming Sega Saturn titles, featuring a striking visual style. On the left is Cross Detective Story, presented as the most sensational excitement of the mysterious adventure game in the 20th century. It highlights a massive number of unique images, over 50 hours of gameplay, and the groundbreaking IVACS system, promising a revolution in mystery adventure games. The artwork shows a determined-looking character and a prominent red X. On the right, Tori Monocho is featured, a multi-scenario adventure game with a distinct anime art style. Screenshots show character interactions and a turn-based card battle system. It boasts a compelling story and features a lineup of popular voice actors. Published by Cree, it was set for release in early 1998. Below that, the Sega Saturn Collection line is promoted, highlighting Puzzle and Action, SANDR. This title, part of the popular arcade series, is presented as an affordable collection release, bringing fast-paced minigame action to the Saturn. It was also released in early 1998 as the third entry in the Puzzle and Action series on the console. This page features two upcoming Sega Saturn titles, both released by Kid. On the left is Gunblaze S, described as a love-romance RPG. The visuals showcase anime character art alongside screenshots depicting a top-down dungeon exploration perspective and turn-based combat. The game centers around battling a mysterious evil organization using the power of love, courage, and magic. It was set for release on January 29, 1998, at a standard price of 6,800 yen, with a special first-run bonus of an original clear file. The page also notes the development by Active, and includes a list of key voice actors. On the right, the page promotes the Sega Saturn version of Welcome to Pia Carrot. Pia, a popular love simulation game. The artwork prominently features three female characters in waitress uniforms, reflecting the game's setting as a romance simulation taking place in a family restaurant during summer vacation. Key features highlighted include the ability to select character uniforms, full voice acting, an exclusive original story, and extra scenarios for the Saturn release. Scheduled for March 12, 1998, with a price of 6,800 yen, the first press edition included a limited print sticker. The game was originally developed by Cocktail Soft. This page showcases two distinct upcoming titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have Authentic Shogi Guide, Wakamatsu Shogi School, a shogi simulation game endorsed by famous professional player Wakamatsu. Designed for players ranging from absolute beginners to advanced experts, it features various modes to improve your game. The visual features a striking live-action promotional image with several people, suggesting a unique presentation style. This title was scheduled for release on January 29, 1998, priced at 6,800 yen, and included a special gift campaign for early purchasers. The right side features an installment of the Tokimeki Beat Fast column, spotlighting Konami's Aya no Love Song. This appears to be a character-focused dating simulation game, potentially related to the popular Tokimeki Memorial series. The article builds anticipation by introducing several key characters, including Kojo, Yuitsugumi, and Koshiki, among others, noting that each character will have their own short stories and unique minigames. Screenshots display the anime art style and some examples of the minigame visuals. The column expresses excitement for the game's charm and the depth provided by the character-specific content. There's also a brief mention of related character goods for Mikami, being released separately on January 21st. This page features a look at upcoming prizes and a significant PC game release. On the left, the Prize Explorer section highlights Sega and Banpresto prizes available in February. Sega's offerings include collectible keychains featuring characters from classic Sega titles like Opa Opa, Space Harrier, Hang On, and even a miniature Sega Saturn console. There are also Sakura Wars sitting figures and Puyo Puyo themed sound banks. Banpresto presents prizes from the Super Robot Wars series and characters from Ultraman and the NHK show Dekirukana. There's also an announcement for a prize giveaway contest. The right side focuses on the Sega PC Club and the release of Virtua Fighter 2 Special Pack for Windows PC. This enhanced version of the popular 3D fighting game supports network battles via the Dwango service,
allowing players to compete online. The PC version benefits from direct 3D support for improved graphics and comes bundled with a WIN PC collection, featuring screensavers based on character movements in the game's watch mode, CG portrait images, and other desktop accessories like wallpaper and minigames. Screenshots show the game's fighting action and a character CG render, demonstrating the visual quality. The article positions this as a desirable package for PC users. This page dives deep into the creative mind of Kazuma Kaneko, the iconic character designer known for the Shin Megami Tensei series. In a special interview section titled Saturn Dreams, Kaneko discusses his artistic origins and inspirations, touching on everything from his early fascination with the occult to influences from various media like manga, movies, and music. He specifically mentions being impacted by works like Devilman and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He also talks about the inherent dilemmas and challenges faced during game development, reflecting on the balance between creative vision and practical limitations. Kaneko shares his perspective on recent trends in the gaming industry and reveals some of his favorite recent games, highlighting a title called Azito, a base-building strategy game, which is shown with a small screenshot. Looking ahead, he expresses his continued interest in making RPGs, particularly within the Shin Megami Tensei universe, but also shows interest in developing action games and even something with a comedic edge. The page features a striking illustration of a character from Shin Megami Tensei, Soul Hackers, showcasing his distinctive art style, alongside a photo of Kaneko himself. He also mentions looking forward to games like Ataze, Last Rebellion, and Baroque. Elf Fan Magazine's 1998 Volume 2 celebrates their 10th anniversary with a New Year's greeting. The issue features a character file on Celis from Yuno, a mysterious Yuno character with golden hair, teasing her relationship with Takuya and highlighting her exclusive Saturn episode. A humorous Asked Elf piece explores the perception of okusaku, adult games, offering a self-aware look at the genre from an elf staff member's perspective. Yuno Saturn version details are provided, along with a New Year present campaign for readers. Seasonal graphics and a group character image complete the issue. The next page is a highly anticipated report on the arcade hit, Sega Rally 2. It dives into the stunning visuals powered by the Model 3 arcade board, boasting detailed environments with effects like snow and mud, and incredibly realistic car models. Gameplay gets a significant update with the addition of a side brake, allowing for more technical control during corners. The article previews the game's courses, including the familiar desert, forest, and Riviera stages, plus hints at a hidden course. It also highlights 4 key cars available: the classic Lancia Stratos, the Ford Escort WRC, the powerful Subaru Impreza WRC97, and the nimble Toyota Corolla WRC, showcasing their distinct looks and performance. It's clear this sequel is pushing the boundaries of arcade racing graphics and introducing new gameplay mechanics to keep rally fans hooked. This page features a look at Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes and interviews with staff from Sega's AM3 division about their past and future projects. This page opens with the regular Sparkling the AM #3 corner and prominently features the upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. The article highlights this highly anticipated entry in the popular crossover series, showcasing the addition of 6 new characters: Captain Commando, War Machine, the Ninja Strider, the Symbiotic Venom, the robotic hero Mega Man, and the armored warrior Jin Saotome. Screenshots give a glimpse of their unique fighting styles and appearance in the game. A new gameplay system called Variable Cross is also introduced, allowing partners to team up for simultaneous attacks. The page also includes interviews with various staff members from Sega's AM3R&D department. They reflect on the past year, 1997, sharing their most memorable moments and discussing the hits like Top Skater, Lost World, Winter Heat, and Last Bronx. The staff also share their aspirations for 1998, emphasizing their commitment to creating original and engaging games. Finally, a section titled Artist's Soul displays some related illustrations. This page is dedicated to Hyper Ultech, a collection of useful tips and tricks submitted by readers for various Sega Saturn games. The tips are ranked from 1 to 5 based on their practicality and uniqueness. Leading the charge with a rank 5 is Saturn Bomberman Fight, offering multiple secrets. You can gain immediate access to powerful decabombs in certain modes, unlock additional game modes, change character costumes for Louisia and Mami, and even access a special viewer mode to appreciate the Bomberman characters from different angles after a victory. Other notable tips include unlocking the formidable Gorrigan as an opponent in Culdceps Versus mode, rank 3, and gaining access to several hidden characters in the arcade mode of Twinkle Star Sprites, rank 4. Adding popular characters like Lodran, Sprites, and Queen MEIA to your roster. For fans of simulation games, there's a trick to significantly increase your money in Minari 1 Furlong Theater, rank 4, and unlock a third scenario in the historical simulation title Suikoden, Tendus, rank 3. The page also reveals how to find a hidden photo album in MJ, The Mystery Hospital, rank 4. Unlock all animals in Gaia Breeder, rank 2. Enable high-quality sound effects in X-Men, Street Fighter, rank 1. And access a true arcade mode in Sega Ages Volume 2, rank 1. Finally, the page includes a call for readers to submit their own Ultec findings, offering prizes for accepted tips. This page is dedicated to an exciting lineup of strategy guides from Takuma Shuten/Intermedia, part of their Super Strategy Game Walkthrough Book series, featuring new releases. The guides cover a diverse range of popular PlayStation and Saturn titles. Featured guides include the latest release for Arnam no Tsubasa, promising a full reveal of hidden dungeons and complete character and enemy data, alongside simplified dungeon maps and detailed event descriptions. For racing fans, the Team Unsimulation 2 guide provides in-depth parameter data for all machines and drivers, plus intricate details on every circuit, and even promotes a contest with a prize pool. Strategy RPG enthusiasts can look forward to the Super Robot Wars F guide, offering complete unit data and turn-by-turn strategies to lead you through every scenario. RPG players are covered with the Breath of Fire 2i guide, presenting a clear, chart-based walkthrough loaded with information on items, enemies, fishing, and transformations. The Crimecrackers 2 guide offers a comprehensive chart walkthrough, covering hidden content, items, enemies, and transformations with easy lookups. Finally, the Gallop Racer 2 guide provides extensive data on over 1,000 horses, making it easy to search and compare abilities. These guides aim to provide all the data and strategies needed to fully conquer these games. This page presents a look at 2 upcoming Sega Saturn titles. Dominating the right side is a coming soon announcement for Koei's Nobunaga's Ambition, Shousei Roku, the 7th entry in the acclaimed historical simulation series. It promises a significant evolution with the introduction of 3D maps, allowing players to manage around 40 castles across Japan and utilize some 600 historical figures. The game features detailed unit creation based on individual officers, strategic combat with 1v1 duels, and intricate ability settings for characters. Gameplay will involve developing territory, managing internal affairs, diplomacy, and engaging in battles directly on the map. It's slated for an April 2nd release at 9,800 yen. On the left, Kid and Libido present After School Love Club, Etude of Love, a dating simulation game. Releasing on January 15, 1998. This title is described as a casual approach to romance set on the Starry Sky campus, focusing on the love lives of various girls. The page showcases vibrant character artwork, highlighting the potential romantic interests. The game also includes a release campaign offering special character goods. This page previews several upcoming Sega Saturn titles. Featured on the left is Dream Generation, a dating simulation game where players navigate love and career choices after high school. The story kicks off at a reunion, and screenshots show character portraits and event scenes. Below that is another simulation game that blends romance with career goals, allowing players to manage their time to pursue both. Screenshots display scheduling options and character interactions. Taking up the right side is Pocket Fighter, the super deformed fighting game featuring characters from Capcom's popular series like Street Fighter and Darkstalkers. The game boasts simplified controls, flashy special moves like the Mighty Combo and Flash Combo, and a gem system to power up attacks, including a level 3 Super Shoryuken for Ken. Characters wear humorous alternate costumes during combos. Screenshots show the energetic gameplay and character sprites. Finally, the page introduces Princess Quest, an RPG set in a fantasy world with both 2D overworld exploration and 3D dungeons. The plot centers on recovering a stolen treasure. Screenshots highlight the game's character designs and environments. This preview highlights upcoming Sega Saturn games. Chorok Park, a racing game based on Penny Racer's toys,
features car customization and collection elements. Hexen is a dark fantasy first-person action game with 3 hero classes and complex dungeons. Tamagotchi Park brings virtual pets with minigames and a special cartridge. Wipeout XL, known as Wipeout 2097 in some regions, offers fast-paced anti-gravity racing. Finally, the preview notes new releases including Shanghai, Great Walls of China, a mahjong game, and a Sagata Sanshiro CD single. This page presents the Sega Saturn new production sale calendar, offering a detailed look at upcoming game releases. The calendar spans multiple months, including January, February, March, April onwards, and lists titles that have undecided release dates. A helpful guide explains that games listed in red are appearing for the first time in this calendar, while those in blue have had their titles changed. The list itself is extensive, providing the game title, developer or publisher, and the expected price for each entry. This serves as a crucial resource for players eager to see the diverse range of titles heading to the platform in the near future. This page previews the next issue, number 3. Scheduled for release on Friday, January 30th. The cover feature is a Heysel Panzer Dragoon RPG, known internationally as Panzer Dragoon Saga. The issue promises in-depth strategy guides not only for Panzer Dragoon Saga, but also for highly anticipated titles like Sentimental Graffiti, Machi, The City, and Pro Yaku Team Otsukuru 2, Sakatsuku 2, aiming to help players fully enjoy their purchased games. The left side also includes standard magazine sections such as reader inquiries, a guide on how to interpret game specification tables, and a brief mention of staff involved. A game index is also present, listing titles covered within the magazine. The dominant feature is a large advertisement on the right side for the game Sentimental Graffiti, scheduled for release in March 1998 on both PlayStation and Sega Saturn for 5,800 yen. The ad features a lively scene with several characters looking at a screen displaying the game, emphasizing the theme, with games, youth. The game is highlighted for its unique approach to simulating youthful experiences, allowing players to pursue relationships leading to love and marriage, choose their desired profession, and live out their ideal vision of youth. Small screenshots showcase the game's charming visual style. The next page features a full-spread advertisement for SD Gundam G Century S on Sega Saturn. It highlights deep strategy simulation, action battles, multiple modes, and a large roster of over 200 characters, scheduled for release on February 11, 1998.